Brentford won, Manchester United won, in what I can 100% say was the worst display I have seen this team put in. And we have been battered 4-0, 5-0. We lost to Liverpool 7. But this was absolutely the worst display I have seen this team put under Erik ten Hag. I don't know what the hell I watched. I don't even want to call it a match of football because I don't think we played football. They gave us 5 minutes, 10 minutes most, and then they just didn't play football. I don't know what that was. Welcome everybody to the Red Devil recap. Manchester United needed to win this match. Manchester United did not win this match. We looked like we were going to rob 3 points from Brentford because they absolutely outplayed us, outclassed us. They wanted it more. And they were determined to get that. And how they didn't, they could have easily scored 3 or 4. They didn't. We got lucky. They hit the post. They hit the crossbar, I think, twice. And, maybe if it was a better team, more clinical, we would have lost this match 3-0, 4-0. But, this team, at this point, not surprised at all. We've been doing it all season. They do this every other week. They put in a performance like they do against Liverpool. They come and play a Brentford, and it's like they can't be asked or they forget how to play football. I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's both. But we're going to delve into this a little bit more. Please, if you haven't already, smash the like button. It takes 2 seconds of your time. Really helps out the channel. We greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. We usually do live videos. This one is a pre-record. Scheduling issues. Got some things to do. So we're going to pre-record this. And I'm not going to do too long of a video on this one because I'm tired of wasting my breath on this team. Top 4. People were holding out hope for after, the Liverpool result, but it wasn't in the league. So, they put out a display like that, wasn't in the league, didn't get us 3 points, didn't help us in the top 4 race. I don't believe this team will get top 4. I think it's pretty impossible. The way Tottenham are playing, the way Tottenham keep pulling out results, the way Villa, they had a slump in form, but they're still staying ahead of us. They're still performing better than us. So I don't see how it's possible when our team is doing things like this. That was one of the worst displays I've ever seen. I don't know, nobody on the team, nobody except for Andre Onana. Maybe he gets a 6, maybe, but he made some important, great saves that stopped us from conceding a goal or 2. But his distribution, kicking-wise, was absolutely trash. He was setting the balls long, couldn't find nobody. Also, wasn't helped by the fact that nobody wanted to win an aerial ball. Nobody was even trying to win an aerial ball at moments in the game. I don't understand this team. I really don't understand. I've been trying to make sense of this team the whole season, and you just can't come up with an answer. You can't come up with an answer because there's more than one answer apparently, and it seems like every other shit performance, it's a different reason. So it's insane. I've been backing Ten Hag and trying to defend him on many points, but today he's gonna have to be criticized. I don't understand why he took so long to make changes. The changes he made early on, they were forced. Varane injured. He said his injury is not too bad, so hopefully he doesn't miss a game. But he brings on Harry Maguire. Lindelof, injured, has to come off, pulled his hamstring. He's definitely out for a couple weeks for sure. So Martinez comes on, and he took off Garnacho to put on Anthony, which I wasn't even really against because Garnacho wasn't doing anything, but, nobody did anything. Rashford was awful, and maybe I would have thought twice about maybe just pulling off Rashford and putting Garnacho on the left side and letting Anthony play on the right side. But yeah, for me, the biggest issue of that match was in the first half, we were just forcing the ball down the middle, forcing it down the middle. We refused to use the wings. That was probably the game plan, that we were trying to go through the middle. That's how we were set up to play, was to go through the middle. That wasn't working, and it was pretty stupid because, Brentford was staying compact. They were playing five in a back. Literally, I mean, the whole team was coming back, but it was almost a seven at the back at times. And, Hoyland's living off scraps. The guy doesn't get any touches. He got one chance, but, one chance. Let's put it this way. If he had as many chances as Ivan Toney had tonight, Rasmus Hoyland would have scored a goal at least. But he had one major chance. And I don't know how in the Premier League you're supposed to, just pull off miracles, living off of one chance and barely touching the ball in the entire game. Just, sitting up there and watch your team. Who knows what the hell they were doing, because they weren't playing football. I mean, Scott McTominay was absolutely useless. That midfield really pissed me off today. It really did, because they did nothing. They couldn't get the ball back. They couldn't win the ball. They couldn't hold possession. They couldn't make plays. They did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. And it was that game was so frustrating. It was so frustrating because it was just like, it was just like, I've seen Sunday teams play better than that. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating as a United fan. It's frustrating. I know everybody is frustrated and everybody is pissed, because it's just, how do you put in a performance like you done against Liverpool, and then you go have like basically a holiday for 2 weeks, you go off at international, you come back and you look like absolute dog shit. Absolute dog shit. It's baffling how a team can do a performance like they did against Liverpool in a cup match to go through to the next round. And then they go and play a game where you need the 3 points, you need a performance, and it's like they've never played with each other and they've never played a game of football. But I've said this so many times. And this team, this is what they do. I'm done expecting anything from these guys, because this is what they do. They play a Liverpool, they play an Arsenal, they play a Chelsea, they play these so-called big teams, right? And they play like their lives depend on it. Now, if they win the match or not is a different story, because now we're talking about levels of quality, and against those teams you can be outclassed. But the effort and the determination and the drive that they give in those games are so high, and they don't replicate it when they play a Brentford or an Everton or anything. I mean, in the last match reaction that I did for the Liverpool one, I said this exact thing. I said that these guys, if they can't figure out, or they just won't bring the same levels that they bring against Liverpool, against these smaller teams, we could easily be winning these matches. But when they turn up like they did today, you're never going to win that match. And then we almost robbed Brentford. We didn't deserve that shit. Somehow, Mason Mount scores his first goal for us. I was happy for the guy because he was injured for so long. He comes on and he gets a chance, an opportunity falls to him, he takes it. And you're like, holy shit, we've stolen it. We've stolen it. We didn't deserve it at all in any capacity. We did not deserve those 3 points. We didn't even deserve a point. But I was ready to take it because we needed it. And what does this team do? Not only did they play the worst performance I've ever seen under this manager, they conceded the goal 32 seconds later. 32 seconds. And this is not the first time that they've done this. It's actually unbelievable. It's unreal. Like, it feels so unreal. Like, this shit has to be made up, that you can do things like this, that a team like Manchester United, that players that play for this club can actually do this. They've done that more on a consistent basis than they do put in good performances. It's crazy. It is absolutely insane that they can continue to do shit like this. Absolutely insane. And I don't. The only thing I can think of, I don't understand why Ten Hag took so long to make the changes today, because they were playing so garbage that for you to be stubborn and for you to not make the changes is absolutely mental. Now, I don't know if Casemiro and Mason Mount could only play 10, 15 minutes because of the injury time, right? There was 9 minutes added on, so they had about 10 minutes and went to like 15 or 20, right? I don't know if they could only play that amount of time because they were. I mean, Mason Mount just came back from a long-term injury, and Casemiro was slightly injured, pulled out of the Brazil squad. I don't know if that's the reason, or he was just being stubborn, because he does do this sometimes where he's stubborn and he refuses to make certain changes. I think absolute mistake that he kept, my thinking is he kept Scott McTominay on for height, because we didn't, but it was pointless because we didn't win a damn aerial duel the entire match. We didn't win the first header, the second header, or the third header like 75 times in this match. Nobody wanted the ball. We couldn't tackle the ball. Nobody wanted to win the ball back. It was one of the worst displays I've ever seen this team put in. And we have gotten our ass kicked. We've been embarrassed in matches. And I've never seen such a shit display than what I've just seen. I mean, I'm lost of ideas for this team. I mean, there was no positives for me. The only positive was Mason Mount putting the ball in the back of the net. And that means fuck all in the concept of fighting for Champions League and trying to get 3 points and trying to keep up with Tottenham and Aston Villa. And a problem, and I don't even know how. I don't have an answer for this. I don't really know. My thing is that the midfield is probably one of the reasons for this, but we conceded 30 plus fucking shots. 30. Again, this isn't the first time. Brentford had 80 touches in our box, the most in a single Premier League game this season. We had 13 touches the whole game in their box. I mean, and this is the thing I'm talking about. Like, if we played like this against a City, against an Arsenal, against a Tottenham, against a Villa, if we played like this against them, we would have got our ass kicked like 7-0, 6-0, 8-0. But because we played at Brentford and they couldn't put the ball in the net, we tied 1-1. But at the same time, if we played any of those teams that I just mentioned, they probably wouldn't have performed like this. And that's what's frustrating me about this team the most, is that they just, it's like they fucking rather just be home. It's like they'd rather just be home. It's like they'd rather just not play this game because it's so insignificant to them. Meanwhile, Brentford are there trying to literally win the game and show us up, and literally they're basically embarrassing our club and our players, because we're supposed to go win that match. We're supposed to be Manchester United, and they're there to prove a point that we ain't shit. And it's like our players go on the pitch and they let them just like do it to us. It's insane. It's insane. I mean, McTominay was completely invisible, and he should not be starting. Should not be starting. He is a super sub at best, and I'm telling you now, Erik ten Hag, if he kept him on solely for the height, which I would actually hope he kept him on solely for the height, because if he didn't think that McTominay was absolutely invisible, did fucking fuck all, didn't contribute to anything, and was garbage, then we have a bigger problem. We have a way bigger problem. But still, if he did what I'm assuming and he kept him on for the height, it was a mistake anyway, because he was so non-existent, and he just, it was like playing with 10 men. It was like playing with 10 men. So it was just, it was a bad move. And, you know, I just, we were so fucking slow, like so slow. Like they were confused what to do with the ball. And it's like, fuck, man. We need to, this squad, I'm telling you now, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir David Brailsford and Omar Barada and whoever else they fucking bring in, if they don't look at this group of players and say, we need to fucking get rid of a bunch of these fucks because they are not capable of putting in performances for Manchester United, they don't have the mentality then we have bigger problems. Then they are not it. There is no way that Sir David Brailsford and probably Sir Jim Ratcliffe, because I assume he's watching this shit. There's no way they can be watching this shit week in and week out and not say that there is a huge problem with these players. Because they'll be looking at the manager, but the manager can only be a part of the problem. And me personally, the players are the bigger problem. So if you're going to remove the manager, you'll remove the players. If you remove the manager and don't remove a good amount of these players, we are fucked. We are fucked and we are going nowhere again. So I'm not even going to do like player ratings because there's like literally no point. The team performance for me as a whole, like a 4. Maybe even lower, but I'll give him a 4 because that's still pretty shit. I think Onana gets a 6, and I think he probably gets man of the match for getting a 6 because I think everybody else was so shit and nobody really contributed anything. I think Delo played all right at times. He wasn't too bad, maybe like a 5. And Mason Mount is getting a 6 for me, but he didn't play 90 minutes, so I want to give man of the match to Onana because he put in a 90-minute performance, and he saved us. Even though his distribution was awful with the long kicks and shit, it wasn't 100% his fault because people just standing there and like not even giving an aerial challenge. They're just watching the ball go to the Brentford players, so it's not even 100% his fault. So yeah, but for me, team performance 4, Eric Ten Hag. 4 with the squad. I think the game plan was shit. I don't think he changed. I don't think he did enough to try and change it. I don't think he managed this one very well. Could have done way better. I mean, the shit that he did against Liverpool to manage that game and the risks he took, I gave him a fucking 8 for that. And I wish he would do that probably more often because the way we played, we were never going to win this match. We were never going to win this match. We got lucky that we scored a goal because the way we were playing, we were never even going to score. I don't even know how the hell we actually scored. It was just kind of just a lucky thing. Ball bouncing all over the place. Brentford got a little bit, just out of position and players were all over the place and shit like that. And Mason Mount took his opportunity very, very well. And I'm happy that he scored his first goal. Unfortunately, his teammates are a bunch of dicks and they ruined it for him because we could have somehow got the 3 points and everybody could have been talking about how Mason Mount scored his first goal and it was good to have him back and we're so happy for him. But instead, we're here being upset and criticizing the team for an absolutely shit performance and we can't even really talk about Mason Mount's goal because it was basically almost for nothing. So, it is what it is. But that's all we're going to do for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already, please smash the like button. We greatly appreciate it. It really helps us out. It takes 2 seconds of your time. Go ahead and click the like button. It just gets us out there more. It gets the video seen more. So please, if you could just take 2 seconds of your time, we greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. We always do live shows. We're coming up with some interactive stuff that we've been thinking about behind the scenes. We've been formatting it and plotting it and stuff like that. So we're gonna bring that soon. So subscribe, turn on the notifications, so you know when we go live or when we drop a video. Get involved in the comment section. We want to hear from you. We're trying to build the community. We want an open and free community for everybody that is Manchester United fan. Don't matter where you live. Don't matter, if you've been to Old Trafford, you haven't. If you watch Manchester United, if you love Manchester United, then you are always welcome here. Your opinion is always welcome here. And we would love to have discussions as much as possible. So thank you guys. Try and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I know it's hard. I'm going to go hit a punching bag a couple times, get my frustration out that way. I found it to be really good therapy. So if you're frustrated and you can't figure out how to do it, maybe get yourself a punching bag. But other than that, thank you guys. We'll see you later. Enjoy. We might do something tomorrow. If not, we'll try and do something later on in the week. Been pretty busy lately. But of course, if anything major breaks, if anything huge breaks, we'll either go live or we'll be dropping a video off of that as well. So until next time, we'll catch you later. We'll definitely be bringing you another one like we always do. And until then, be safe, stay good, and we'll catch you all later.